Greetings guys and gals, this is XIJABERWALKIX bringing you the best in esports, and I have Starcraft 2 Wings of Liberty for you guys today. This is my first commentary that's going to be on Starcraft 2 with my registered FRAPS. Just registered it not that long ago, probably 20 minutes, just because the simple fact that this is my third time trying to record this. Not really FRAPS issues, just the main thing of me messing up pretty much. I've just been messing up, not doing a very good job of casting, and kind of messing up the camera and stuff, missing stuff. And that's not what I want. Anyways, we have DuckloadRA at the top left, who is also WhiteRA, who is the famous Brood War Ukrainian player. Did a very, very nice job in the what was it? The TLSC Invitation, SC2 Invitational #1. Actually won it. Has also done various other things in Brood War tournaments. And at the right hand side on Scrap Station we have mouzNaama, who started out his career in Warcraft 3, coincidentally, and not Brood War. Started in Warcraft 3, went from there. He is from Finland. Won the DreamHack, one of the DreamHack tournaments, I think. If there is more than one, I'm not sure if there was more than one. It didn't seem like it was the most recent DreamHack tournament, but it could have been. I didn't really look it up too much. I also know that he was a finalist and actually won one of the ESL tournaments, so that's pretty cool too. This is on Scrap Station, so there's just so much distance between the two bases in terms of ground. There are the destructible rocks there, so no rushes are going to go through there. There is a very short air distance, though, super short, so usually we see some type of air unit. Here comes Naama's SCV, gonna be scouting, gonna know that pretty much everything that could possibly be standard is going on with DuckloadRA. Nothing out of the ordinary, no cheese, no rush, nothing like that. He does have one gate, his assimilator, now getting up his core after that second pylon, so pretty freaking standard here. It looks like Naama is going to go for his racks and then his orbital command with his refinery. Really super standard. That probe is going to take that Zelnog watchtower, going to be forced off of it for just a little while. He sees Naama's SCV come back. It looks like he's getting out a Zealot as well. Going to pick up his second assimilator. Going to go to the production tab now. That cybernetics core is morphed in, and so I'm assuming that after this he's going to get out a Stalker pretty soon, which is really super standard as well. Factory play going down for Naama. He's also getting a tech lab on his barracks, so probably going to see Marauders in the near future. This probe is scouting out a little bit for any type of cheese, any type of proxy barracks. It looks like also going to be scouting out this base down here. Going to pick up that Zelnog watchtower just for the time being, and going to see pretty much what's going on. He's scouting around with it, just doing his thing, getting his warp gate, which is also super standard. I'm sorry if this is really repetitive, but this is pretty much a standard game. Besides this, we see the one gate into Robo, not too uncommon for this map, but definitely not the standard 3-gate Robo or anything like that. I mean, it's one of the standard builds, especially for this map, just because there's so much distance. He doesn't really have to worry about any type of early pressure from the Terran player. But it looks like Naama might go for some early pressure anyways. He's got 2 Marines and a Marauder in the mix with a Hellion, which is kind of unusual, and also another Marauder. Probably going to go for an early push, but I believe, especially because putting in that pylon there, just so crucial, he's going to be able to choke this off, and really one force field is all he needs to hold this off for a while. And I believe that there's probably one force field. If he gets out another sentry, this is going to be very easy. He doesn't yet have his warp gate technology. He is getting out an observer, so he's getting out an observer before he gets any type of immortal or anything like that. Here comes the SCV and the rest of the units. This Zealot is probably going to get picked off. The Hellion almost gets picked off, not quite though, and there's really only a Stalker and a Sentry. DuckloadRA might be in a little bit of trouble. All those units are really badly damaged. That Marauder is literally has 18 hit points, probably 3 hits or 2 hits from a probe. Let's see how much damage probes do. So yeah, 3, actually 4 hits from a probe, surprisingly, because since they only do 5 damage, I forgot how little damage they do. It looked like the Marauder was a lot weaker than it was. Another gateway morphing in, so he's going to be at 3 gates with a Robo, which what Day 9 used to say, I'm just going to bring it back to Day 9 for a little bit. He used to say you have to have a goal, and it doesn't, what different builds are is just a different way of getting to that goal. And for DuckloadRA, it was the 3 gateways and the Robo. Instead of going 3 gateways and then a robo, he went for a gateway and then a robo and then 2 more gates, which is, pretty, so it happens against Terran simply because you want to get that observer out, so you have it just in case something like this happens. And this is kind of a late Banshee, but if they go for an immediate Banshee rush, then you have that observer out and you can detect it and you can get some stalkers out and defend against it. So we do see the 1 gate into robo quite a bit. We do see that observer going out now towards the base of NaMa, but that's why he did that, and I just want to point that out because that's so critical that you have a goal when you play this game. After taking a lot of Day9's advice, we do see a comp set that observer is going to get picked off. That's bad. Observers get picked off quite a bit in StarCraft 2, but the observers, man, they're so expensive. If you look, they're 50 minerals, 100 gas. They're just so gas intensive. But what I was saying is that it's so important you have a goal, because I've been listening to Day9's a lot. I've been listening to his daily, and if you haven't heard of him, he's probably the best StarCraft 2 caster. I'm going to just say that plain outright, the best StarCraft 2 caster out there, just because he does have professional experience, a very, very, very skilled StarCraft player. Here comes the Banshee. Gonna be attacking these units, gonna have cloak. The observer is not yet in the vicinity. He is getting out another immortal, unfortunately, so that observer is not gonna be there. Probably gonna be able to pick off this Banshee though if he micros it well, just getting a little bit blocked off, and so this Banshee's gonna get away. But yeah, Day9, one of the best casters there are. Sounds like something's going on. Oh, this Banshee is just attacking these destructible rocks. It looks like that Banshee got wounded as well. So we have 2 Banshees at the south, 1 at the north. Expansion now up for DuckloadRA. He's going to be transferring his probes any minute. There's a probe transfer for him. We have an army for NaMa, kind of at those destructible rocks. He might be trying to just go right through here and attack at this area. He does have an expansion of his own, built it at this natural, which was not a risky move. Does have mules out now as well. Not a risky move at all, just because of the huge distances. Usually players on other maps like to build their command center inside their base and then float it over, probably get an orbital command before they float it over, but instead he built it at his natural, which was very economically sound, very, very safe build. He has double refineries at his natural, so we're going to be getting a lot of gas. Also has 3 mules there, so if we look at the income tab, his income right now is just skyrocketed. Absolutely, he's even ahead in harvester count as well, so doing a very nice job with his income. Looks like more Banshees being made at the moment, and so we're going to see a lot of Banshee play, maybe maybe a 4 or 5 Banshee push, which is going to be very effective if just because of the mobility issues and how far these bases are apart. Realistically, he could go for a double attack, probably be able to pick off some stalkers and some probes as well, getting Stimpack, getting a Raven. So he's able to use that point defense drone, which is so effective against mass stalkers. That point defense drone really can just turn the tide of the battle. We see a Stargate out for DuckloadRA, going to be chrono posting out a Phoenix nonetheless to counteract those Banshees. But we have 4 Banshees in the base now. DuckloadRA is going to have to run his probes from that area. Here comes an observer, but there's no army to speak of. There's really no army in the vicinity at all. There is that observer there, but unfortunately all his forces are lagging behind back here. Those 4 Banshees are going to be unhurt. Here comes the Phoenix, going to be able to do a lot of damage to these Banshees, able to pick off one, going to follow them. That observer is going to be behind 2, and really all it matters if these Banshees even cloak, it just matters on how fast this observer is, how it's able to detect, but NaMa not even going for the cloak, and this one Phoenix is going to be able to pick off 3 of those Banshees, almost 4. This Banshee is going to be able to return home just in the nick of time, and it looks like NaMa might be going out for attack, but no, sieging up his siege tank, so he's just going to go for this defense, going to be content to stick to his base and just kind of sit outside here. He has pretty big bio ball army along with those siege tanks, doing a very nice job. Going to be able to take this army from the Protoss player, but if you get a few more mortals and more zealots, and if he gets his charge, his zealot legs, then he's going to be able to do a ton of damage as well. Not even repairing that Banshee, that's kind of unstandard. But yeah, so I've tried to talk about this about 5 times, except there's been a lot of action. But just listen to Day9. He improves your game so much. He thinks of things that you wouldn't even think about. He thinks about the game in such a way that is so ridiculous that Missile Turret might be able to pick off this Phoenix, and that was almost a really bad decision to grav lift that SCV, only get one SCV kill, and he's pretty much, this Banshee's going to be almost useless. It's almost going to go down, and going for the gold expansion is Naama here. He's attacking and expanding, what you should always do in StarCraft. Here comes the Phoenixes. They're not really going to be able to do anything. Huge push coming out from Naama, but no, he's sieging up and kind of playing it defensively, pretending he's going in for the attack, making DuckloadRA react to him, and not really building that many units. He does have a scan, so he's going to see this entire army. He's going for Stormplay rather than the Colossus, and as Day9 says, he likes that a lot better. Ooh! We have a sensor tower being built by the Terran player. Don't see them very often. Usually we never see sensor tower, but I think this is a great move because he's going to be able to see right when the Protoss player moves out that Raven doesn't have that many hits, but it's going to be able to put down a point defense roll hopefully before it gets sniped off, and that's going to be so effective against this, against these stalkers. But really, this army is not too stalker heavy, actually, to be honest. I thought it was a little bit more stalker heavy, but it's not. Slowly pushing up using the slow Terran push that is so common in Brood War is the player Naama, and so he's gonna slowly push up here. This Phoenix is gonna engage. Oh man, that Raven might get picked off going in for the kill, and the Raven does kill the Phoenix does kill the Raven, and the Phoenix he killed as well, but that's a great snipe. That Raven had a ton of energy saved up. Now there's no Raven in the area. It looks like he's not even building another one, but building an orbital command at that gold. I don't know if DuckloadRA knows that he has that gold or not, trying to come in, gonna be able to pick off this pylon, and I think, to be honest, that this army can take this one if it engages at the right position. But there's a lot of siege tanks there, guys, and there's a lot of zealots. They don't even have charge, so I don't even think that he's going to be able to take this. He's taking out these destructible rocks just to get a little bit more mobility. Here comes the Stimpact Biobot army. A little bit of engaging, both players just doing a little bit of a dance here, and that base is going to be scouted by that zealot, unfortunately for Naama, but at this point I don't think it matters. I think that Naama's going to be able to take this game. He needs to be very, very careful what DuckloadRA does to not get those High Templar picked off, and Siege Tank sieging up, getting free hits on this Protoss army. That's not what you want as the Protoss player. Bunker going up as well, and he's just doing such a great job of containing the Protoss player. Here comes DuckloadRA with 3 zealots, gonna try to take on this army, gonna pretty much be able to do it. I don't know why these guys aren't mining over there, but here we go, back to the main battle. Storm going off, beautiful storm on that Bioball army, catching the army off guard, but I think if he would have upgraded these zealots, he would have had a lot better chance. But Storm's going off like crazy, and here comes the zealots. The zealots are getting whittled down though, but just absolutely eating through this tank army here, and I think that he's going to be able to take it. It's going to be very, very close, but this Immortal and Zealot mix is just able to do so much damage. But no, the Terran player comes out ahead, and that's what I'm saying. If he had that charge, it would have been completely different. Those Zealots are just kind of... Okay, let's be honest. They're really, really slow. They're super slow when it comes to speed in terms of players, especially when those Marines have their stim pack. The Zealots just need that charge, man, and now the charge is upgraded, but it was just a little bit too late. I don't think he had it during the time of that battle, or I could just be absolutely hyuking myself, even though hyuk isn't really that bad anymore. And he did have charge, and I just absolutely did not notice it. It looks like he's picking up his 3rd base, but Naama has been at 3 bases for quite some time. I believe those Zealots were picked off somehow, dropping off auto turrets, not point defense drones. He's going to just stall this attack for a little while, retreating his forces, sieging up, doing a very nice job. SCVs came out in the mix as well, and so this is going to pretty much reset to where both players have almost even armies, but pretty soon I think that Naama is going to be able to just absolutely overpower him just because he's had that 3rd base for so long. He's going to have so much more production. It looks like Weapons 1 is just getting researched now. Good storms going off from the Protoss player DuckloadRA though, and doing a very nice job. Good micro by the Terran player Naama, and so I think that Naama is going to be able to take this. The storms were just amazing, but just not enough. This Archon's going to go down. Archons are actually fairly strong, not quite as strong as they were in StarCraft 1 is what I've heard. But honestly, I think that they look, just as strong as they did in StarCraft 1. It might be a damage thing. They do different damage. Another good storm, so he's going to be able to probably take out this army just with these speed zealots. But no, I'm hooked yet again. Oh, nope, he's able to take down the Bioball army, but more units coming in, and we have more reinforcements coming in for Naama, and at the same time, there's really nothing out for DuckloadRA. So DuckloadRA is in a very bad position at this point in the game. It looks like he's transferring probes, but these are going to be intercepted by these 2 Marines and this Marauder here, and just a ton of units going down. This is just painful to watch as a Protoss player myself. All these probes go down, unfortunately. He is warping in the Zealot, but honestly, he is just way too starved in terms of minerals. He's really not mining at his main. He's only at 1 base, and meanwhile, I guess, Naama isn't really mining that much either. Just these 2 stalkers behind here are just able to do a lot of damage, and he's going to have to reinforce with some type of ball army. Going to be able to pick off this pylon, but honestly, both players do not. Oh man, he's going for an all-in. I was like, are those all Marines? But no, those aren't all Marines. It looks like he's going to go for an absolute all-in with these SCVs, and this might actually work, as there only are 3 Zealots and 2 High Templar at the time. There is also another force of Zealots and Immortals. Doesn't have any Stalkers in the mix at all. Is going to get a Void Ray, of all things, which I think is going to be very effective, although he needs to be very careful so that it doesn't get sniped off by a group of Marines or something like that. But here comes the huge SCV army of Naama here. He does have a Raven in the mix, does have a few siege tanks, about 6 Marines as well. He's got a ton of medevacs, and so here he comes, scanning, realizing there's no army in the area, no army, and so here comes DuckloadRA's army, and good storms going off on all those Bioball units. Those SCVs are just getting absolutely crushed, but these siege tanks are doing a lot of damage, and I think this is going to be GG. I think this all-in is going to pay off for Naama here. He's just picking off the Zealots before they get into the base, also dropping in the back. Didn't really notice that until now. Doing a very nice job. Going to be able to take out this Zealot, hopefully, if he focuses fire. Not focusing fire, not really paying attention there, trying to go for this expansion. This drop from Naama is probably going to get picked off, and DuckloadRA GG's leaves the game, and the observers leave as well. So I think this could have been a show match between or a tournament game, but I looked it up and it didn't really look like it was a tournament game or a show match or anything. Possible though, because DuckloadRA seems to be playing the Mouse clan quite a lot. He might even, I don't know, I looked him up, it didn't say what clan he was in, but maybe that's just me not having good sources. Anyways, that's the game, guys. It's really what won it from was this gold expansion. It's almost mined out. He just did so well, having 3 bases up while the Protoss player only had 2, and it was just at the last minute that really DuckloadRA got that 3rd base up, and so it was just being mineral starved comparatively. Otherwise, if you liked what you saw, subscribe. Hopefully my SC2 commentating will get a little bit better. I'll have a little bit more camera control. I know most of the hotkeys. I thought I knew the follow one, because usually I do it when I'm obsing, when I'm bored and stuff. I'd use the follow, but apparently I couldn't get it to work here. But yeah, subscribe. Please give me a like, thumbs up. Do whatever you do, and that's game. Lates.